What does Cartagena, Colombia have to offer? We know they have good coffee, but how are their pastries? We wanted to find out. I'm Chris.
And I'm Wendy.
And welcome to Traveling with Chris and Wendy. Today we're going to dig into what Cartagena, Colombia has to offer. How do we find the best food and beverage that a port has to offer? We have a video that we're making on how to do this system, but we'll give it to you really briefly here. What I do is I look for at least four things. I look up coffee because I love coffee.
I don't love coffee.
She doesn't tend to drink coffee, although today was an exception with Cartagena. Two, we look up ice cream because we love ice cream. We look up bakeries and we look up the authentic food. And we also do a quick search of what is X port known for, in this case Cartagena. We knew it would come back with coffee and some other things, so we looked into it. And we found some excellent options. So our first stop was for coffee, and we found a fantastic place called Mientras Cartagena, and that we found by looking at Google Maps. And what I do is I look for a highly rated place with a number of reviews, a significant number. In this case, it had a rating of 5.0 stars, which is not incredibly rare with only single-digit number of reviews. In this case, it had 5.0 stars with 428 reviews. So I knew this place would be excellent. It had one problem though. It didn't open until 11 a.m. and we tend to go to coffee first thing. And when we got there, it was about 10:40 or so. Well, we checked and they let us in. So they were wonderful folks. They were very friendly. And they had something that's fairly rare in most coffee shops. Starbucks has it, and I like it in Starbucks, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But they had a flat white. So I chose a flat white. And what did you get, Wendy?
I got a cool chocolate drink, and it was so good. It was a really hot day out, and it was refreshing and delicious. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and she actually did something I was really surprised, and she tasted my coffee and she said, "It's Colombia, I have to do that." And here's the funny part. You ever see those reels and those shorts that say only 7, or the average number has done 7, how many of you? And it's got to do with doing something or going to some continent or visiting some area. Well, one of them was having coffee in Colombia. And I thought, well, you haven't done that. And she
yes,
said, actually, if you remember, I took a sip. And I said, I'll be darned. She gets to check that box. I was so proud of myself that I could check the box. So we went there, and it was an absolutely charming little place. Shortly after we got there, some others started to file in. And you could tell it was just this wonderful gathering place of friendly local people. And so we really felt like we had a nice treat going in there. So after coffee, we went down to the fortress, which was what the Spanish used to protect the city against the British attack in, as a matter of fact, it was 1741, March to May, with an overwhelming force of 28,000 men and 180 ships. And the British were decisively defeated by a vastly outnumbered Spanish garrison. So this is the main fort and garrison that they used to defend themselves. And back to food. We were getting very hot and overheated. It was an extremely hot day today. I think it was around 96 to 98 degrees. And after walking the city, we were starting to get a little worn out. And we weren't really interested in having a big, heavy meal. So we wanted to focus on the pastries and or bakery. So we found an amazing bakery that we went to, which again had phenomenal ratings. So where did we go to find some of the best pastries that we've ever had? Well, what we do is we go back to Google Maps to take a look. And what we found was that there was a bakery called Nia Bakery Coffee Shop and Cocktails, and it had a rating of 4.8 stars, and the number of ratings was 2,400. So we knew that this would be popular. So what we did was we headed on down there, sweat and all, because it was so hot. And we thought, oh, this will be nice and air conditioned. Well, the first thing we found is that this was so popular, there was a line out the door. So we had to wait a while before we could get in. But we finally got in, and we were seated and had a wonderful waitress.
It was worth the wait.
It was. And I figured it would be. It was really stylish inside, and you could tell it was kind of like a hip, like, I don't know if the rich people there went there or the cool people, but you could just tell it was kind of upscale and hip. And we went there and we asked the waitress, what did she suggest? And because we often just say, we don't even know what some of this means. For example, on the menu, the four things that we got were, we got the coconut cake, which is literally the simplest thing ever, but it wasn't listed as coconut cake. This happens to be an English menu that we found. It was listed in Spanish, and it says coconut cake with vanilla and lulo curd topping. And she suggested that. We took that. We also got the arequipe and dark chocolate cookie, the lulo white chocolate cookie, and I got the affogato. Now let's take a look at this coconut cake. So here we go, and what was immediately unique about it was what?
The fresh flowers on top. I don't think I ate them, did you?
I ate the flowers.
He ate the flowers.
There was no way I was not going to. It wasn't that they were good or bad. I just said, they put them on there. I know they're edible, so I'm going to eat them. And they were such nice looking flowers. And additionally, it was a fantastic, moist coconut cake. The coconut was not real prominent, but you could taste that it was coconut. But the lula is like a type of a cream, and it was in some of the other items that we looked at too, but absolutely fresh, delicious, very moist. And I tend to have my food in order of what's heaviest, so in this case I'm going to have this first because I know that the chocolates are going to be a little bit heavier. So absolutely delightful, wonderful experience, and we were happy that we had it.
The next thing we ordered were the cookies, and who doesn't love cookies? They're beloved by the world. I ordered the arequipe dark chocolate cookie. I think that's how it's pronounced. It had this buttery bottom area at the bottom that was crispy but still chewy, and then it had a delicious gooey sauce in the middle with that nice chocolate filling. It was just delightful.
Yeah, arequipe is the Spanish word for dulce de leche or caramel, and that's what you can see in the middle of that close-up right there in that dark chocolate. And what I ordered was the lulo and white chocolate cookie, and I remember now what lulo is. Lulo is a tart, citrusy tropical fruit common in Colombian cooking. Lulo and white chocolate cookie, a thick buttery cookie with a homemade lulo jam topped with dissident white cashew chocolate. That sounded amazing. So what did it taste like? Well, it had that tangy, citrusy flavor with a little bit of the white chocolate. The white chocolate was not super pronounced, which I think was actually quite good, and probably as wonderful as everything was. What shines for me is that amazing crust. You can see in that close-up with the lulo jam oozing out, and the bottom is like this thick, heavy, almost not overly cooked, so it has that wonderful density to it. And then that top, you can see, like Wendy was describing, that buttery, crispy crust there, almost like a mini pie. And these were absolutely wonderful. But as much, and what's your favorite thing of almost all desserts?
Ice cream.
And next is?
Ice cream?
Cookies. She likes cookies next. But I got some ice cream and I ruined it for her. How did I ruin ice cream for Wendy? I got an affogato. And oh my goodness, it was, you can see from the picture there, it made the ice cream just a little bit soft and so thick and rich. And it really was, out of all the wonderful things that I had in Cartagena, the affogato was absolutely the best. And I think it was a combination of the fact that I absolutely love and adore ice cream. And I just love anything that's excellent. And their coffee in Colombia was so good. And so this affogato was amazing. Did you try this? I don't remember if you tried this.
I did not try this. I did drink a little bit of the coffee.
Yeah, she drank the coffee at the other coffee shop.
But no, I didn't try
But I think it was probably smart because espresso is it's so heavy in coffee flavor, and she's not a fan of the coffee flavor. So that was the delightful experience at the Nia Bakery, and it was worth the wait and worth the anticipation. Overall, it was a fantastic experience, and we'd love to hear a couple things from you. One, what is the best thing you've ever had in a cruise port? And secondly, what is your method for finding a good restaurant in a cruise port? Because I've had some great tips in the comments from some of our viewers, and I love to hear new things. So please put those in the comments. Also, if you find value in this, like and subscribe. And keep your eyes out for any new port videos. The next one we make is going to be Punta Arenas, Costa Rica, coming up in a week or two. And if you are waiting on that and haven't seen the Cunard videos, go ahead and have a look at the Cunard videos because those are wonderful too. And that's the cruise that we're on. So thank you. And again, this is Chris.
I'm Wendy.
And we're saying take care.